What's going on, guys? So, I asked this question: should Vasyl Lomachencko fight Guillermo Rigondeaux? Now, this question, I guess, was irrelevant up until recently, where Guillermo Rigondeaux's team made it clear that they were willing to move up to Vasyl Lomachenko's weight at 130 pounds. Now, before I guess I get into the actual question, a fighter moving up who is a champion, who's more relevant, um, I don't think you should give up anything as far as weight to deplete himself for to give somebody who is a good fighter but it is not as relevant as far as I guess in the mainstream boxing realm. So I disagree in the sense that there should be a catch weight. But now that Rigondeaux himself is saying he's willing to move up to 130 pounds, a weight that he's never even fought at. Obviously, I don't think he's gone above 122 pounds. I mean, he hasn't gone to 126, let alone 130. So let's just assume then that the 130 pounds is a legit offer or a legit, I guess, statement. I think first and foremost, Vasyl Lomachenko. I know that Top Rank, they have a date at the Nokia Theater in Los Angeles, California. That is the 5th of August. What I at least was assuming by a lot of the reports was that fight was to be made against Salido. The Salido fight is more important. He should not take a Salido fight to fight Rigondeaux. But considering that Gervonta Davis has already said that he's not willing to take the fight yet, which I honestly kind of respect because he admitted the fact that he's not ready for Lomachenko yet. Corrales turned down a fight offer with him, and Burchett I think is injured or is not going to be able to fight. Why not give Guillermo Rigondeaux an opportunity now? They're both extremely talented amateur fighters. Their styles are are very different. Like, you can't just say that they're both great amateurs. Obviously, the biggest difference, I think, and statistically, is output. That Vasyl Lomachenko throws a lot more punches, where Guillermo Rigondeaux is the type of fighter that doesn't really throw that many punches, but has a lot of power. So he kind of doesn't really throw 4 or 5 punches and then lands a big one. He kind of lets a guy lull himself into traps and then lands big punches and makes the guy punish. Now, I know a lot of people like to shit on Rigondeaux's fighting style, and I've been negative about his fighting style in the context that this is a business, this is a sport, and when Guillermo Rigondeaux, right, is in such control of a fight, and when he has somebody in the ring, like when he fought on the undercard of the Cotto Canelo, the co-main event for the Cotto Canelo, when he fought the Filipino Diron Francisco, he just didn't throw punches and he was in such control. It was, it led to a letdown. Now, if you don't have a personality outside the ring, if you don't have exciting fights in the ring, and you're not relevant in any other ways, it's difficult in the sport of boxing that it matters, right? You can't just be good and continuous and to expect to be put on TV. It's just not how the world works. Like, I just live in the real world, right? I'm not going to sit here and say that Rigondeaux hasn't been treated unfairly. He has, because he's never lost. Obviously, his only mark on his record was his no contest win, which is unfortunate because it seemed like they both were throwing after the belt, just like he landed first. That's irrelevant. But Rigondeaux himself, he hasn't really shown in the ring that he cares about getting the big fights, because it more than just winning, it matters, right? So having said that, he said that he's willing to move up, and Lomachenko currently has no assigned fight. In other words, it's not yet signed with the Salido match. And I think, like I said, if he's not able to get that Salido match, I'm okay with him fighting Rigondeaux, and I think he should get that fight. Now, having said that, the Rigondeaux fight may be a lose-lose, right? So I'm talking about I'm okay with the fight, and I want to see the fight happen as a fan of the sport and as a boxing fan. But from the business side, from Vasyl Lomachenko's, it's a lose-lose, because if he beats a guy coming up 2 weight classes who's never fought at that weight class, people are just going to say he beat up the smaller guy, which will be the case because, like, Guillermo Rigondeaux is not able to put on size and become a bigger man. He just, if you look at the, I guarantee you next to each other, it's going to be remarkably differently. But having said that, I don't see a real way, Rigondeaux's masterclass, but his sole masterclass was against a very, very talented and good fighter in Nonito Denare. But they fight nothing like, he fights nothing like Vasyl Lomachencko, who's much more defensively, technically sound, and he's much bigger. So I think it would be a fight that would intrigue many in the fight game, and it also I think would make Lomachenko kind of get a little more respect from the people who are detracting him. To people who choose to not use the lose-lose formula against him, like myself, because I just think this solves, like, the two guys who we always hear about are being ducked, who never get a fight, is Landy Lara and Guillermo Rigondeaux, right? And Lara's in a different situation where he is with PBC. There are other guys in his weight class that should and will and should be fighting him. So there are fights out there for him. Where Rigondeaux fights in his weight class at 118 pounds, there's just not that many options. Like, he had to go to Japan to beat up a guy who we had no idea who at least me, for myself, because I guess I'm only a casual compared to some guys. Well, I didn't know who he was. But I just think that it would, if it's not going to be one of the other champions who it's not going to be possible to make that fight right now. And if it's not going to be Salido, who is his only defeat, and he obviously that's more important than Rigondeaux, I think at the end of the day, Vasyl Lomachenko should give Guillermo Rigondeaux a shot. All right. Thanks you guys for listening and supporting this channel. I'll make more videos with more topics. Hopefully something comes up sexy enough for me to make more topics. Later, guys.